He will provide health insurance to every American. He'll create a foreign policy that builds our national security. And he wants Democrats to sound like Democrats and to be proud of our small business and labor. You may not agree with everything he says, but you'll know where he stands. Governor Howard Dean.
Thank you. What I want to know is what in the world so many Democrats are doing supporting the president's unilateral intervention in Iraq. What I want to know is what in the world so many Democrats are doing supporting tax cuts which have bankrupted this country and given us the largest deficit in the history of the United States. What I want to know is why the Congress is fighting over the Patient's Bill of Rights. If the Patient's Bill of Rights passes, a good bill, but not one more person gets health insurance, and it's not 5 cents cheaper. What I want to know is why the Democrats in Congress aren't standing up for us joining every other industrialized country on the face of the earth and having health insurance for every man, woman, and child in America. What I want to know is why so many folks in Congress are voting for the president's education bill, the No School Board Left Standing bill, the largest unfunded mandate in the history of our educational system. As Paul Wellstone said, and as Sheila Kuehl said when she endorsed me, I'm Howard Dean, and I'm here to represent the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party. Right. I want a Democratic Party. I want a Democratic Party that'll balance the budget. Bill Clinton balanced the budget starting in 1993 with not a single Republican vote, kicking off the greatest 10 years of prosperity in this country's history. No Republican president has balanced the budget in this country in 34 years. If you want to trust somebody with your taxpayers' dollars, you better elect a Democrat, because the Republicans can't manage money. I want an economy in this country where we create jobs that don't move offshore. I want an America that has health insurance for everybody. I I want a government that stops passing unfunded mandates and starts funding the ones we've got, like special education. And I want a government which will give us a foreign policy so when we walk down the streets of the capitals of our friends, we don't have to worry about watching our back wherever we go as Americans. Thank you. We've had two fine people, United States Senator, Senator Kerry and Senator Edwards, who've done a lot for our country, and they've served us honorably. And if they win the nomination, either one of them, I'm going to support them and do everything I can to help them win the White House. But I don't think we can win the White House if we vote for the president's unilateral attack on Iraq in Washington and then come to California and say we're against the war. And I don't think we can win the White House if we support the president's No School Board Left Standing bill and then come to California and tell everybody that we're going to do all kinds of things for education. And I don't think we can win the White House if we skip the most important abortion vote in the last year and then come to California and talk about pro-choice. I'm not surprised that only 15% of people between the ages of 18 and 25 vote, because we haven't given them a reason to vote. And we're going to give them a reason to vote now. I was governor for so long that I got to serve through not one but two Bush recessions. And in Vermont, I was very proud to balance the budget. We balanced the budget. We set aside money in a rainy day fund. We paid down almost a quarter of our debt. And the reason that's important is because it's hard to fund social justice without a balanced budget, which is why this president doesn't have one. In our state, our budget is still balanced. And we're not cutting higher education, we're not cutting K through 12, and we're not cutting health care for kids. That's what we need in this country. I'm a governor, and I've done it. In our state, everybody under the age of 18 has health insurance. We made Medicaid into a middle-class entitlement. If you make $52,000 a year or less in Vermont, everybody under 18, your family is entitled to Medicaid. We charge, if you're at the upper end of that, we charge $50 a month. That insures everybody in your family under 18. Now, if we can do that in a small rural state which is 26th in income in the entire country, surely the most wealthy and powerful society on the face of the earth can grant all its citizens health care. I'm a governor and I'm a doctor, and I've done it. In Vermont, we've conserved hundreds of thousands of acres that'll never be developed. And I might add, Mr. President, they're never going to be drilled on either. And if I get to be president, I'll protect California as well as Florida. Let me tell you something else. One of Bill Clinton's greatest legacies to this country was a promise he kept to make his cabinet look like America. I thought one of the lowest moments of this president's presidency was about 5 weeks ago when he used the word quota 5 times on national television, the evening news. The University of Michigan does not now and never has had a quota system, and the president knows it. And we need affirmative action in this country, and we ought to stand up and say so and be proud of it as a party. California is a precursor to the rest of this country. You have 5 big minorities and lots of small minorities in alphabetical order: African Americans, Anglos, Asian Americans, Latinos, Native Americans. Soon all of America is going to look like California. And when it does, I want to make sure that every American is included in the very best institutions that we have in this country, because as a nation, we either admit that we are all together or we will be divided, as the Republicans have divided us since 1968 under the Richard Nixon Southern strategy. I don't want to be divided anymore by race. I don't want to be divided anymore by gender. I don't want to be divided anymore by sexual orientation. Senator Kerry was reported to have said that he could win without the South. I don't want to win without the South. I'm going to go to the South and I'm going to say to white guys who drive pickup trucks with Confederate flag decals in the back of their car, we want your vote too, because your kids don't have health insurance either. I want to end on a personal note. 3 years ago, next month, I signed a bill into law called the Civil Unions Bill, which gives gay and lesbian Vermonters the same rights I have: visitation of your significant other in the hospital, inheritance rights, insurance rights. Vermont truly is a place where every American is equal in the eyes of the law. I want the President of the United States to explain to all Americans why he doesn't believe all Americans should be equal under the law. I signed that bill 6 months before an election, when it was at 35% in the polls. I never had a conversation with myself about whether I ought to sign the bill or not, because I knew that if I was willing to sell out the hopes and dreams of a significant portion of our people, that I'd wasted my life in public service. Because I've never lost an election. But my career has never been about winning elections. My career in this campaign is about changing the Democratic Party. It's about changing America. And this campaign is about taking back the White House so we can have health insurance, so we can have a balanced budget, so we can have an inclusive society where everybody believes in each other and believes in America. I want the opportunity to work with the extraordinary people in California. I'll work with California instead of against you. I'll work with Nancy Pelosi. I'll work with Dianne Feinstein. I'll work with Gray Davis. I'll work with Herb Wesson. I'll work with John Burton. And I'll sure work with another Democrat from the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party, Barbara Boxer. Only way we are not going to beat George Bush by voting with the president 85% of the time. The only way that we're going to beat George Bush is to say what we mean, to stand up for who we are, to lift up a Democratic agenda against a Republican agenda, because if you do that, the Democratic agenda wins every time. I want my country back. We want our country back. I'm tired of being divided. I don't want to listen to the fundamentalist preachers anymore. I want an America that looks like America, where we're all included, hand in hand, walking down. We have a dream. We can only reach the dream if we're all together, black and white, gay and straight, man and woman, America, the Democratic Party. We're going to win in 2004. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much.